Well, you got what you wanted. You're another loss closer to last place.
Yeah. Now imagine that's the loss that gets me Connor Bedard.
Buddy, you think Bedard scares me? What do you think I have McAvoy and Lindholm for? Oh, and Olmark. And Swayman.
You don't care if I get him?
Not even a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Because what have you done with every franchise player since the mid-90s? Oh, that's okay. I'll answer that for you. Nothing.
Oh, this is different, and you know it.
Different my ass. You'll be Edmonton East.
Look me in the eye and tell me you're not afraid of me getting Connor Bedard.
You know, maybe you're forgetting who you're talking to. We are the Boston Bruins. We are not afraid of some has-been franchise with a toilet seat for a logo.
Okay. All right.
Afraid of you guys getting Connor Bedard. It's just ridiculous. Low-quality fans of a high-quality Bruins team that is a dub. It was pretty good. Yeah, this one felt a lot closer than it should have felt. It was a lot closer than it should have been. You get it. Honestly, the teams played like you expected, though. That's the thing. It's not like this was a really close game because the teams were playing on a really even level. No, this was a really close game because one team is beating the brakes off the other, but their goalie just decided to not let that happen. A lot of respect for the Canadians, though, because they did exactly what I expected through this. They said, screw it, and gave us, what they could. This is a rivalry game, and I know a lot of you have kind of felt like different rivals are bigger rivals at this point. The Leafs, the Canes, I don't know, somebody else. But to me, it's always the Habs. And I don't know, maybe it's kind of a brainwashing technique when I was younger or what, but it's just always the Habs. Now, the Habs are terrible. They're really bad. They're ranking bottom 5 in goals for and goals against. They have the league's worst power play, which of course scored on us because we're the league's best penalty kill. Figure that one out. And they have a bottom 5 penalty kill. Bottom 6 penalty kill, maybe. They're also missing, I'm going to read this off to you, mostly on purpose, by the way, Cole Caulfield, Jake Allen, Jaroslavkovsky. I haven't actually had to say his name yet out loud, I just realized, which is weird for a number 1 overall pick. But yeah, that's my pronunciation. Druin, Armia, Evans, Byron, Gallagher, Gould, Heineman, Monahan. I'm sure I mispronounced 3 of those. And on top of all that, their logo looks like a toilet seat. The unfortunate weep for the Habs franchise. They do. The unfortunate weep for them. Because, honestly, and I say this from the depths of my heart, fuck them. I don't feel bad for the Habs. Are you kidding me? Do you know often I talk to a Habs fan and they say, well, most cups of all time. Fuck off. All right? Screw off, man. 1993 was your last cup. That's all I care about right now, okay? All that being said, all the injuries, all the terrible statistics for them, it doesn't matter. Over the past 30 years, there haven't been too many times where the Habs and the Bruins were on equal footing. It just hasn't happened often. I'm not saying it hasn't happened at all, but it hasn't happened often. It doesn't matter. These franchises hate losing to one another. Screw the gulf of talent. Screw the Bedard sweepstakes. Screw the odds. This one's about pride, and that's always how it is with these two teams. That's why I thought they really gave us a good shot. They really did. Montembeault has actually been really good coming into this game, so it's not that surprising that he played as well as he did, but boy howdy, he really kept him in it. For us, Swayman starts. He had an okay game. We're going to have the same squad as last game with Kopanen on the 4th line. Kopanen on the 4th line with Greer and Foligno, and all the other lines remain the same. There would be a little shuffling during this one, but nothing major. Pastrnak, I'm saying this right in the beginning of the video because it has to be said, and I want you to say it with me. Pastrnak, after a 4-point game, now has 69 points on the season. Nice. Also, like, comment, subscribe. nailed it. This was Red Bull and something else that I don't even know if I'm allowed to drink on your YouTube video. I'm sure I am. I don't know, but it ain't vodka, and the mixture ain't good. That's on me. That's on me. I'm going to the Canes game on the 29th in Raleigh, so if you're going to be there or be square, if you're going to be there, feel free to say hi. But let's talk about this game. Puck drops! In the first period, wasn't a lot to talk about. 11:07 left in the period. It's a very slow start. 4 combined shots between the two teams. Marchand goes for hooking while in the offensive zone. So we're going to start with a PK. We outshoot them 2-0 on their own power play. It really looked like it was being one of those types of games. The whole first period, we were the far better team. Multiple scoring chances. I think we had like an expected goals of like 1.4 at the end of the period or something like that. Something that's like, hey, you should have a goal by now. And it just didn't happen. Montembeault played a great first. It's 0-0 after 1. That's my only note about the first, because things hadn't gotten chippy. There wasn't some like crazy goaltending or scoring chances. Like, they were real scoring chances, and there was good goaltending, but nothing where I'm like, I gotta talk about it. That's just it for the first. Second period starts. 4:24 in. Hall tripped by Anderson. Bad boy. By the way, they should sit Josh Anderson if they're trying to lose more games. Because it felt like he played 43 minutes tonight. He was all over the place. Anyway, we're going to the power play. Great puck movement. To get it to Pasta at the bottom of the left circle, Montembeault moving, like that's a goal. That's a sure thing. And somehow he gets across and gets an arm on it. Stays tied. And then during the power play, still a Zacha breakaway, stone blocker side, and a hard low shot from Krejci through the slot. And again, all stops. Montembeault keeping it tight. 8:40 in after an icing. Pizzetta and Forbort shed him. Forbort interfered with him, late hit basically. I think they called interference on it. But they shed him, but the refs just, no. They don't let him go. Forbort's going to go to the box. I think Pizzetta is 2, but Forbort's going to get the extra 2. So they're going to go on the power play. 31 seconds in, the league's worst power play gets a nice bounce. It's a one-timer by Hoffman for the right circle, bounces off the players battling in the front directly to Kirby Dach, goes an open net, and flings it in the net. So they're going to go 1-0 on a power play goal. I'm sure a lot of you went, oh, great. Is this really going to be the game? This team has shown all year. Yes, it's going to be once in a while you get goal lead hard and like you just can't find a way to score. We were not at that point yet. Yes, they went up 1-0. We have the best winning record after allowing the first goal by a long shot, I believe, this year. We're not out of it if they score once. And we showed that again tonight. 6:10 left. Hoffman for a lazy penalty. He goes for slashing. It's power play time. And about 30 seconds into this, Pasta has a hard wrister into the slot. He's looking for a Bergeron deflection. It ends up bouncing out. Montembeault's down, lying there on the crease, and Hall gets to poke it in. Hall finally gets back in the goal column. He finally gets that monkey off his back. It's 1-1, and it's just a couple minutes after they scored to tie it up. I thought that was the only goal they were going to get this game, so I was super confident that we were winning this one. I was unbelievably confident. I just didn't think they were going to score again because they weren't getting great chances. That didn't prove to be correct, but it was close. 42 seconds left of the period. McAvoy is going to receive a pass. He's got his back to 2 defenders. He's in the slot. It's an awkward positioning. And he decides to tuck the puck under, lift his stick, go between the 2 players, and get the puck again and take a shot on net. Gorgeous. Incredible. The confidence in this guy is sky high. The problem is when he does that, he absolutely chins some unsuspecting defender. When he tries to go up with his stick, he just gets him right on, just destroys the guy's freaking jaw. So he's okay, so we can joke about it. We're going to have... It's weird to see a play like this and be like, oh, we took a penalty during it. Because just because you are deking with the puck doesn't mean you're allowed to hit a player in the face with a stick. It's part of the deke. Yeah, that means I can skate up to someone and just whop up. Hey, that's my deke. It's my new move. That would be my specialty, the low-quality move. I skate right up to your grill and then take a 2-handed swing at the side of your head. That's my deke. I call it the Lumberjack. Lame. I'm going to think of a better name for that. 1-1 after 2, going to the third. The third is our friend. And we're starting the period on the penalty kill. 119 of it. We crush it. Mostly because 25 seconds in, Marchand is standing under a lob clear and gets cross-checked by Matheson. That's cross-checking. Yes. Marchand might have helped that one along just a little bit. Just a little bit. He got booed for the rest of the game. He was getting booed before that. Who cares? So 4v4 for 54 seconds, and then 5v4 for a minute and 6 seconds. The power play was a yikes. That was not a healthy PP. That was really, really bad. So nothing doing on that. 9:45 into the period. The Krejci line's going to go to work. They get into the zone. They set up, and they're moving the puck around with a couple puck retrievals, not allowing them to clear the puck. I thought this was the best shift the second line actually had all game. There were some porous ones as well. But it all peaks with Pasternak, who receives the puck on the left side, and it's going to circle into the high slot, and he's been looking for this all game. He had 4 points. This is one of the laziest games I've ever seen Pasternak play. And I don't mean that in a rude way. He just didn't have his skating legs. He was giving up on plays left and right. Like, he had 4 points on a night where you go, what? He wanted to score. He wanted to be in scoring positions. He wanted to be in the offensive zone. But, boy, that was not a great effort by him. And he had 4 fucking points. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But it really didn't seem like it was Pasta's best night. It was just weird. Anyway, he takes a hard wrist shot. It goes waist high. Krejci with a beautiful tip. He, being Krejci, gets into this dirty area, takes the hits to make this play, beats Montembeault glove side with the tip. Right before this goal, I was shocked to see him even get there because the team had completely gotten away from taking the hits to make the play. I thought we were losing board battles. We were hesitant to go into board battles. We weren't getting in front of Montembeault. I really did believe that we were shying away from it, and I'm not sure why. It's not normal for this team to do that, in my opinion. It's not a concern of mine either. I'm basically saying one of my game notes now. It was surprising to see that play, though, because I just thought we had really shied away from the physicality start of the third on. But midway through the third, Krejci makes that play, and it gets us the goal. I thought the game was over, but 2 minutes later, not even 2 minutes later, Montreal sets up, shot from the right point, and this is harmless. But it gets in front of Swayman. Belzile is directly in front of him, untouched. Krejci's in the middle of the slot there. McAvoy comes over and crushes Belzile after he already pushes the puck away from Swayman to Kirby Dach, who gets a wide open net once again. So it's 2-2, by the way. Grzelcyk had skated a little too far away from the net. I mean, these guys were not expecting this puck to get in on Swayman. They were kind of playing the edges, and then it does, and they collapse, and that's what happens if you don't eliminate bodies in front of the net. They're able to take a hit and make a play. 2-2 game against a team that really you just didn't think you were even going to let back into it. Surprising. 2:55 left. Bergeron wins an offensive zone faceoff in the left dot. Pasta grabs it behind Bergeron, fires this on net. It's kicked out by Montembeault. Marchand's battling for it, slides by him to Bergeron, who goes around the screen and fires this hard and low glove side. Montembeault had no chance on getting to this because it was just too quick, and Bergeron was well hidden behind those two players. 3-2. Pasta is going to get your 100-foot empty netter. 4-2. Ball game. We beat the Habs. Thank God we beat the Habs. Game notes. I mentioned what I said about getting away from the physicality, and that's not a concern, but it is something I noticed for this, and it's probably something I'm going to kind of look at as the road trip continues to see if it's going to become a theme, and I really hope it's not. Swayman was good, not great. I didn't like that second goal, and I certainly didn't like his rebound control on this one, but it was a very wonky game, so again, this is kind of stuff I'm brushing off. I thought this was a very weird game, and it turned out to be a very losable one just by how the bounces were going. But as usual, this team has dug deep, and they've found a way to win it, as they typically do. One thing I really do love, and I thought was interesting, Monty at the end of the first, it's 0-0, and it's about minute 40 left, and he just sends out like a nuclear code. He just sends out the Bergeron line with Pasta instead of Smith, And it's not a panic move. It wasn't because, we need a goal here. He was just like, last shift of the period, boys, have at it. And I just love that he has that, where Pasta likes double shifting, and he has no problem with it. Just chuck him out there with the line once in a while just to get someone flat-footed, and they created a little offense, weren't able to score. But that's something I really like seeing him do. He's not one of those guys that just like, hey, this is my clipboard, this is my structure, this is what we're going off of. So he's not tracking that kind of stuff. He goes, all right, all vibes, baby. Pasta, get on that Bergeron right wing, let's go. I really like that there's a fluidity to his coaching style as well as the systems he puts in. I just enjoy that. All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. We are so close to 1,900. It's crazy. Thank you so much for everybody for all the support. Big game against Tampa coming up, and then Florida, and then the Canes back-to-back. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I don't have much more to say. I'm just rambling. Go Bees!